you got the squirrel backbone. You got 2 thighs. Back thighs really the fattest ones. Now what I did with the spinal area, you always make sure you cut it with a big knife like this. And make sure you don't slip and cut your finger, because you will. It's kind of hard to cut it. So after you're done with that, with the little knife, that's where you cut the legs off, just like that. Now with the ribs, like I got here, you cut these with the scissors. Because if you cut them with a knife, the bones are going to fall out and get all in your food. Alright, so the special recipe is you can get all-purpose flour from Walmart or Food Line. I got my flour Food Line much cheaper. The recipe I got, most time you get an order, but I got lucky and I picked up a big one. So it's not really expensive, but usually this is for not seafood and stuff, but I've tried it on seafood and it's delicious. You can try it on seafood or anything. Most people use it for steak, but I use it for everything. So do not listen to people. They say that this stuff is not good for steak and other purpose. So just do. You dump them right here in the flour, just like that. Now you don't put the seasoning in until you marinate them. So you put them in the flour like that. Dump it right in the flour. Make sure you always have them cleaned off. All the hairs are off of them, because you don't want to be biting into any hairs. So you got a little bristle brush. It ain't gonna tear the meat up. You get the bristle brush, man. You just rip the meat off. You don't rip the meat off, because bristle brush, all it does is take the hair off. That's a good thing about a bristle brush. Alright, doing just like that. Always make sure you watch out for them bones, and you really can't take them out. But to me, I'll cut it off to be safe, but you won't choke on it. It'll cut you, but I will always cut them off. Just like that. You ain't taking no meat off, it's just the bone. So you dump them right in there like that. Make sure you get the other one. There ain't one in that one. So, alright. Then you can use gloves or what. I'm a redneck, so I'll just use my bare hands. Ain't afraid to get dirty. So you just marinate them real good. Marinate them super good. Just like that. Can't even see the raw on them. And you just eat the legs like a rib, man. And you just eat as much as you can. We don't really have big squirrels around here, so try to kill as big as ones I got. So marinate them to the good and marinated like that. Then you don't put them right back in the plate where you just had the raw in it, because you put raw stuff back on stuff you done marinated. So you go and wash your hands. Okay. You wash your hands, you done got them marinated. Alright. So you don't put it back on the plate that you just had the raw stuff on. You get a new plate. Get a new plate about this small. Secret ingredient right here. Right here. I usually don't share my secret ingredient. I got a bunch of secret ingredients, but I'm gonna show y'all this, not my other one, because this is one I created. So, and it's really for steak sauce, but I didn't create the seasoning. But usually it's steak sauce. It's not made for seafood, but I got my own shrimp out called cowboy shrimp. Very good. Then you get all Greek seasoning. It's usually for steak seasoning, but I use it on my seafood, squirrel, everything. Don't let nobody tell you that it ain't good, because it is. They're lying to you. Okay? So what you do is you don't put too much, so this stuff can be very salty. You sprinkle a little bit on your plate like this, so you have enough where you can marinate all of them. You don't want to put too much because it's really salty. So what you want to do is you put the squirrel up there on the seasoning like that, and you just flip it. Flip it. Just flip it. Flip it. You want to make sure you get some seasoning up there, because I mean, if you put seasoning on it after they done frying, the seasoning will stick on it a lot, and you'll put way too much up there, and it'll taste good, but it'll be way too salty. You can't hardly put it in your mouth and swallow it. So what you do is you put a little bit up there like this. Now usually what I do after I'm done cooking them, I put them in a plate, and then if they don't have enough seasoning, all I do is just dap them on the plate just like this. Dap them on the plate just like that. Alright, what you done with that, just dap them on the plate like that. You go over here to the deep fryer. Get right over here to the deep fryer. You just drop them in like that. Exactly like that. Alright, since you're cooking meat, you want to have it at 350. Now, if you're cooking shrimps or shroom or anything, you always want it on 375. But we're cooking meat, so it's going to be 350. Let that cook. Alright. Sprinkle a little bit more up there on your plate, not your whole food. You don't want to put too much. So I just showed y'all one. I'm gonna go ahead and since y'all showed y'all. This is how I cook my squirrel. I love to have my squirrel with this seasoning. So I just cook it like this. Just like that. I'm gonna do all of them so it'll be quick, so you don't want to burn it. Just like this. I haven't sold this recipe, but I'm gonna end up doing it. Create my own recipe on stuff I've already did. I'm sure people use a lot of cowboy barbecue, but you really ain't stealing people's ideas if they don't use it on different type of stuff. Like you use it on steak, and yeah, you're stealing somebody's ideas. But if you use it on seafood or squirrel, people really haven't put it up there. But this is my way, so I'll cook it on everything. So y'all can cook it yourself, make a video on it. I ain't gonna get mad. Just say y'all learned it from. And subscribe to my channel. Trying to hit at least 2,000. I already got 1,000 subscribers, so I just want to hit 2,000. Oh yeah, I'll be very good at that. So I'll be very happy if we can do that. And if I hit 2,000 subscribers, I'll kill a rabbit, and I'll show y'all how to clean a rabbit. Very easy, very easy, very easy, very easy how to clean a rabbit. Okay. Got some good babies in here. Alright. Sprinkle a little bit more seasoning up there. Remember, don't put it on your meat. I know I keep saying that, but if you put it on your meat, you're going to ruin it. So you always put it on a plate so you won't put too much up there. And you don't have to wet it because the flour picks up all that seasoning up there. So it's kind of a measurement when you do it with flour, because flour picks up enough where it won't be too salty. Most of y'all didn't know that. My daddy taught me that. So put it just like this. Alright, that's done with that. And you get the last bit right here. Oh, never mind, I forgot about the spine. You put it right here. Get some more seasoning. Sprinkle a little bit more. Put some more up there. Oh yeah, look at her. She getting real good marinated, man. Most people cook with buttermilk, but I really don't do buttermilk. I'll do mine the old-fashioned way. If you do yours with buttermilk and all that fancy stuff, you ain't a redneck. So you just do it the old-fashioned way. You do it old-fashioned way. Okay, do it just like that. Alright, let me get the other ones out. Like this. Most time people cook the whole squirrel, but I don't do that. So just bite down carefully when you clean a squirrel, because you don't know if you left bones in there. So bite down carefully. Make sure you chew the food up really good. it doesn't matter how you clean squirrel or not, you're gonna have bones in there. So it's just like fish. Can't take all the bones out of a fish. You spend your whole day in there, you won't never get to eat it. Alright. Take a cup towel, wash your hands. That'll be now. We dump the squirrel right here in the fryer. See the other one's cooking. Just dump them right in there, just like that. Dump that one in there. Nice and perfect. Nice and perfect. I really don't have my deep fryer. Have a deep fryer right now, so I use basically electric fryer, but I really don't like these. But you know, but like I said, is that when you take them out, you can just remember, if you take them out, make sure you put your seasoning on a plate instead. Because I made that mistake when I cooked my shrimp with it. I put it on top of the shrimp, and it was way too salty. So you always want to make sure that you put it on a plate first. You put it on a plate first, and you marinate it that way, so you won't put too much up there. You know, I can't put too much up there because I have a daddy. Can't have a lot of sodium, so like that. Remember, all-purpose flour, Greek seasoning. This is one of my recipes. I got 1,000 other recipes for them. These are one of my recipes. Greek. There's right there. Just look at that. All-purpose Greek seasoning. All right. So I don't have a lot of flour left. So see, I didn't use a lot of flour because it was so small. All you do is you don't want to keep that flour because you marinate it with raw stuff, so you never want to do that. You can make yourself sick doing that. Alright. Now you let them cook. Really, the frying is really kind of where you just look at it. Ain't really a time limit, I think. Some people would think it is, but I really don't think. But you just keep a check on them. Just keep a check on them. So I'm going to keep this video resuming right here. Yeah, they looking real good. Yep. See, but if you cook it in a deep fry, you also get it much quicker. Deep frying cooks quicker than anything else. Like putting it in the oven, I saw this stupid person sit there and put it in the oven, and it came out tasting terrible. Always want to fry your stuff, and always fry it with flour, because if you fry it with this bread and milk and all that, it's gonna come out looking stupid, like unprofessional. So, put your flour back up. I already showed you all the seasonings and all that. Remember, all-purpose Greek seasoning. And all-purpose flour. Remember, the big knife right here is for to cut the legs off. These right here is, you can also cut the legs off, but I really think a big knife like this works better. And make sure you do not use a knife on the ribs of them. You always use scissors because you don't want the bones flying out. You see how clean the bones came out of that? Perfect. Look at that. See that? Perfect. Here. And make sure you cut them open and clean them. You don't want to see sitting there be eating balls and you don't want to be. I know YouTube's probably gonna throw me off of this, but you don't want to sit there and be eating balls and then you just come around, you have an umbilical cord out and killing the baby squirrel and all that stuff. So you don't want to be chewing on that stuff, especially its nuts and everything. It's disgusting. You always make sure you cut them open. And I didn't think about it, but while that's cooking, looks like they're quite done here. Let them sit like that, but what you do is that for cleaning the squirrel, you get a regular knife like this. Hey Sarah, what time is it? Okay. Get a little knife like this. Alright, let's say pretend this rib is just a squirrel. I know it ain't the squirrel, but All right, it's got all that hair up there. I usually do the tail method. You cut right in the back of the tail, not too far. Cut it too far, you're gonna step on the tail and you're gonna rip its tail off. So you cut it just right. I'll make a better video. I know this ain't good instructions about cleaning the squirrel, but I'll make another video when I get a chance to kill one, because I work and all that and I'm still in school. So whenever I get a chance and I kill it, I'll make sure I put a YouTube video of how to clean it. So it looks like they're done. I'm gonna check them. Don't put them back in the plate with your old seasoning, so I don't waste another dish plate. You can use paper plates. And always make sure you cut them open. You don't want to be eating a raw animal. So I made that mistake before. So make sure you always cut them open, just like steak. I mean, some people like the steak raw. I do. Me, like rare. So I get a regular paper plate so you don't use them. And you come over here and you put your dumplings right here. Just like that. Alright. Now I haven't took the other 4 out, so I'm going to check these real quick. Now don't use the same exact raw knife. You're putting raw stuff back in there, and like I said, it's going to make you sick. Alright. So you get another knife. Remember about like that small. And you get it. See, look at them. See how nice and fried they are? Look. I'm going to cut them open. Oh man, you heard the juice. If you're squirrel or chicken you fry and it doesn't have juice coming out, you have overcooked it. So the juice is always good. Oh baby, look at that. Look at that white meat. Not even a single pink in there. Always check the other ones. I'm kind of finicky about that. I like make sure all my stuff. Some people think chicken one can be fully cooked and they're all cooked. So I always check it, because I made that mistake before. I cooked one, thought it was done. The first one was done, but the other ones weren't. So always make sure you do that. Yep, that's done too. Okay, let's check this one. Okay. That's done too. Perfect. Really perfect. Alright, I'm going to go get the other ones. The other one's right here. Like I say, just always cook them in a fryer. I mean, I grill mine. Grilling is good, but if you're going to cook squirrel, rabbit animals, you always either fry them or grill them. It's the best way. Alright. Yep, juice is coming out of this one too. Perfect. Alright. Look at that. Pure white, no pink. Alright. Whew, it's a little hot. Pure white, no pink. All good. Alright. So you have deep fryer off if you're cooking in deep fryer. But I cook mine deep fryer, and that was the taste test. But what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to put a little bit of seasoning. I'm going to wipe them in the seasoning. With this seasoning, you cannot put a lot in there. So, kind of just a drizzle. Just a drizzle in there. Because with this type of seasoning, you can sit there and pour it on something and eat it just like sauce. A lot of seasoning you can't, but with this seasoning you can. So what you do, just get it like that. I'm going to marinate it more a little bit. Tastes much better. Alright, just like that. Let's see. That's perfect squirrel right there. Real perfect. Real perfect. Very perfect. That's very good. Oh man, it's very good. Oh man, very good. Hey, yeah, they're small. Look, I'm trying to show you how to eat it. I'm trying to show you how to eat it. Look, What about like this? You eat like, see all the juice right there? You eat that. Yeah, we really don't have big squirrels around here. Most of them are like in Louisiana and stuff. We only have squirrels probably about this big. That's one I killed yesterday. Is it good? Yeah, what did I say? It tastes just like chicken. See, it tastes just like chicken, y'all. I'm telling you. This squirrel tastes just like chicken. And then we got some more dumplings right here. Alright, that's it, everybody. Subscribe, hit 3,000. I'll show you how to clean and cook a rabbit.